It wasn't really clear in the first video, but this is pretty much horizontal. And then from the barrel there, it slopes down to the turbine. And I set this back up this morning because I was hoping I could get enough water flow because it rained last night and it's about 40 degrees, so the snow's melting today. But I'm just not getting enough water in that barrel to run the turbine. So you saw I have whatever's coming off the creek, probably around 30 or 40 gallons per minute. Plus I have two garden hoses running off of the turbine feed, and those are 6 gallons a minute each. So that's another 12. So we're at like 50 gallons per minute, and it's not enough to run the turbine. So I wasn't exactly clear about what's going on with the turbine because I myself don't know what's going on with the turbine. If it's really getting rebuilt into something or if it's getting sent out to somebody else. Actually, I don't know. I just putting that together from memories, which may be false memories. So I don't know. We can see this. It fills up pretty quick. We just put that there. It actually will run for quite a while. But then it just loses water, and then it doesn't run. So, here we are filling up a 55-gallon barrel of water that had about, I'd say 5 inches in the bottom. And we're filling it up to the top, and it's more than half full already. So yeah, we're putting a lot of water into it. That's for sure. I never showed this in the last video. I don't know why. I always kind of was focused on the turbine down there instead of this. And I know this is pretty much level because it'll fill up, it'll burp that pipe a little bit. And we actually have water flowing back from the hoses back into the pipe. And it's actually back flowing up into the culvert collection there. And then we have the water flowing over here at the top at the same time that it's flowing over there. You can see it spilling out one side. And there we are. That's quite a bit of water. And so it's 100% full now. Now I can remove this. And actually what I do is I'll remove it, and that'll, whoop, you see that suck on there. It fills up the delivery pipe. And then I can get an extra little bit of run of water because now the pipe's full, but it's under suction because it's pretty tight. And I can get another buffer and let it run for a little bit extra time this way because I'm buffering up more water while the pipe's full. So the pipe was already full, is now full of water to do the test. And you see that the water here drains much slower in the barrel. And then it's running through the turbine down there. I have the turbine shorted, so it should be letting the least amount of water through, and we're going to watch this drain down. And there we are, we're sucking air. So it doesn't quite have enough water to run it. And every time I'd open up the pipe, the board going into the pipe, and then I'd run down here, well, I'd usually run down over there, and then see what the turbine's doing. Oh, glad I came out here, because I forgot my drill in the snow. Whoops. Did not mean to do that. It's good. So I have this piece of sheet metal up there just to keep it a little bit dry because I have that watt meter there. You see, it doesn't do anything because it's not spinning enough to even light it up, but of course it's not full right now. All right, boys and girls, check this out. The barrel is staying full. The turbine is running. You can't see it, it's under a bucket there. I cleared up some of the ditch up there so that water wasn't diverting away from this ditch. It was diverting into more of this ditch. And then the water comes down here through my culvert collection system into the tank. And then it has the two garden hoses here that are hooked up directly to the turbine nozzle outputs, because the quarter turn ball valve or whatever valve that I have in there, it was too restrictive. So I have two full hoses worth of water running in there too. Unfortunately, my meter that I just had set up, and it got a little bit wet just from rain. I didn't actually drop it in the water like you might expect that I had. Oh hey, I was here. So I don't know, maybe I'll try to get this dried off real quick and running, and then we can hook it on here and see what it does. Here's what it looks like inside the turbine pit right now. You see I have the runner taken off so I could fit the two garden hoses onto my nozzle threads there. And then those two garden hoses go up to the barrel that you saw. And that's running, because there's a lot of flow, it's down to, what, 95 psi dynamic pressure. So we're losing 20 psi of pressure just from friction at this flow rate. I don't know what the flow rate is, probably pretty high. And there's what it looks like with the bucket off. Got some torque to it. Look how fast it spins up. Also, I noticed if you have it stalled out, like if you jump all those wires together, it actually flows more gallons per minute than if it's spinning. Oh, you hear that? Hey, I'm making it sparks. Woo, Sparky! Alright. Hey, it's low voltage. Look, I can short all these on my own, and I hardly feel anything. I mean, I don't even know if there's voltage passing through me. But my hands are wet, and I can short those out by hand. Alright, we're getting some more water now. It's clearly overflowing. It's also pretty late. And my collection barrel here is, you can see, quite full. And it's even squirting out the bottom there. Now, we go down here to the turbine, and we can see what it's doing, finally, at full rip'ems. And it's doing nothing. So it needs a little bit of maybe, oh, okay, it's full of debris. Now it's spinning. We had some debris in it. I wonder if it maybe still has some debris in it. It's hard to say. So I never designed this system to have a filter of any kind. So, because it was just temporary. Which means that there's all sorts of debris stuck in it. And yeah, this stuff won't let it run. That's for sure. It's all macerated in there too. Huh. Wonder what the best way to get that out is. Okay, I have these dental picks that I got as a birthday present. I'll have a link to them in the description if you want something similar. These are Craftsman. And it works great for unclogging things. I used this just last week to unclog the shower drain, which was full of hair. Let me turn my light on, maybe you guys can see better in there. Okay, let's go hook it back up. And we can also see that it's now sucking more water than this full pipe can supply. Even though it's full here, maybe getting a little bit of air in, but it's overflowing on the sides. So I need to either lower that pipe or put some additional plastic up on the edges to keep the water from splashing out. Also, maybe flaring the inlet there would help a lot too, to let more water go in. Because water, it doesn't like to do that sharp transition into the end of the pipe. But if you flare the end, it's a lot more smooth, and there's not nearly as much restriction. I guess same goes for the pipe that comes out of that barrel there too. Now that's what I want to see. Look at all that water. Let me try to get down here without slipping, because I'm wearing proper footwear. Clearly we got plenty of water. I always slip on the other side, so let's try walking down this side. Yep, it's full again. Which probably means that the turbine is clogged up. So let's walk down to the turbine and see what it's doing. Yep, it's not spinning at all. That needs some more load on it. It's spinning too fast. Oh yeah, there's a lot of debris in there. See that? It's not spinning so good. Alright, let's see if I can loosen it up. Okay, I have it reinstalled. That's just ignore that. It's just a little bit of steam coming off of me because it's cold and rainy. I'm happier than a duck in a thunderstorm right now. So we see it's clearly filling up. There, it's quiet now. And now we can see this going. Alright, that's pretty good. I'm going to set up something on the wires here, that setup that I have, just to measure the power output. Again, see how that works. Okay, I have a makeshift rain cover for that. I'm going to try hooking this up real quick. I'm getting a lot of debris through this. So I've already had to clean it once, and then you didn't see it, but I cleaned it again after putting this in on the pipe. It clogged up within like a half hour. So I want to do my testing real quick, just to prove that it works. It works well. Yeah, that's what I have for now. So I'm going to stick this on and then turn the camera back on, because I only have two hands, and yep. can smell that resistor getting warm. Did you hear that? I heard that. I don't know what that was. Doesn't seem to have as much pressure as it usually does. Let me go check on that. We'll leave that covered. It should be okay. Huh. Well, we've got plenty of water. I don't know, maybe do we have a clog or something? I don't think so. Well, if we did have a clog and I just let it loose, then it just clogged up the turbine, I'm sure. Okay, well there, it's working. It'll work steady state if it has enough water that's clean. And I think we've got some debris in it. See the voltage going down. Oh, maybe not. Let's back up. I don't know. Okay, well that concludes this testing. Again, I can't really do much more other than maybe hope for some better weather, but I've been waiting for a couple weeks for weather sufficient to run this steady state. And it only happens during a rainstorm, so I think that'll be it for this testing. Now I'm going to disconnect it and take it inside. Okay, here we are a few hours later. Weather changed a little bit, and we can see that we can get over 20 volts at 6 feet of head on this, but I can't attach my load because then it lowers the volts too much to be usable. Like typically you want like 18 volts at least to be available to charge, in my case, a 12 volt battery, which would be the most probably suitable application for this. But well, that's what we get. I have to keep it covered because it's a little bit wet because it's snowing. So that's doing 20 volts right now at no watts. If I had a less resistive resistor, then I could pull off like a suitable amount of watts while maintaining the volts higher. So I don't know, maybe 10 watts. So if I plug this in or just connect it, we can see that it drops down real low in RPMs. And we get a little sparky too. So if I connect that up and then turn this all the way to the least resistive setting, which would be furthest away from the two terminals, we can see it's doing 13 volts and 17 watts. So that's pretty good. The only problem is that the slower this goes, the more water it uses. So now we're getting down to 11, 10 volts. But if I disconnect this and it goes faster, it actually uses less water and we can get a higher voltage. That's just the way things work. But when I had that connected, it actually drained the barrel some, and now the barrel's refilling. Okay, so I know I don't have the correct resistor on there or load source. I don't know if I could even connect this to my other charge controller and if it would do anything, because it exhibits goofy behavior. If it doesn't have enough volts, it doesn't charge the battery at all. I think there's just a lot of parasitic load in the charge controller I do have. The Midnight Classic 200, it has a lot of loads, which would be a little bit too much for this, I think. So we can see, so I do have the water coming out of the turbine pit here, with the turbine off to get extra pressure. And the extra pressure flows more water into my barrel. Into my barrel here. So we can see it's maintaining some level of water there without draining it completely. If I put that on the outlet pipe, I can fill this up, and that's when I was getting 20, I was even seeing 22, 23 volts out of that, which is good. If I had just a little bit more flow and a little bit more height, then I could do some proper testing, but right now it's not spinning up enough. And let this fill up all the way. Let you guys see what that looks like. Also, I have a board over the end of my pipe there. That's to keep a lot of the water from splashing out, because my inlet to the pipe there is not low enough. I didn't know that when I designed it. You know, it's just a prototype. As I do a lot of things. I'm sorry, guys. Just filling up. I can actually feel a lot of water flowing out around this board. Normally it'd overflow a lot more drastically. I can open this up now. And we can see those high volts again. 20, 20.9, 21. Yep. You guys probably can't hear it, so here. It's very quiet. Like if you wanted to do a stealth setup, let's not lose that, down the culvert, then this would be a good way to do it. You could camo paint the pipe so nobody would really see it. Heck, you could even bury the pipe in a hillside, just off a collection from a little dam or a weir, and nobody would even really know it's there. Oh, also last night when I said that I think there might be some debris in it, I opened it up and this was sticking in there. So I don't know exactly how that got in. So you're still flowing 20 plus volts out of it. Of course, no load, so no watts. And I last night I did have a lot of leaf issue. So what I had done for that, since you're here, I can show you, I guess. Yeah, we got some snow and some wind last night, that's for sure. I didn't have anything proper to strain this, so I just put a milk crate over the end of the culvert there, and that actually collected a bunch of leaves, so that worked well. Alright, support the channel, like, comment, subscribe, share. You can support the channel through Patreon and PayPal, and you can buy the channel different stuff on Amazon too. All the links are in the description. So I had a lot of fun. My hands are freezing. It's 20 degrees out. It's blowing 25 miles an hour. And I'll see you guys around. Bye.